Everyone on Maplewood Ridge knew Karen. Not because she was kind, not because she was helpful, but because she was the most feared HOA president in the entire county. Karen had fined people for wind chimes. She'd issued violations for grass being half an inch too tall. She once made a family repaint their mailbox because the shade of beige was emotionally aggressive. So when 15-year-old Ethan, a quiet high school sophomore, set up a tiny lemonade stand in front of his house one Saturday afternoon, no one was surprised when Karen showed up. What was surprising was how fast. Karen pulled up in her white SUV like she was responding to a crime scene. Clipboard, sunglasses, that same fake smile she used right before ruining someone's month. She didn't even taste the lemonade. She just looked at the sign, lemonade $1, and said, "You're operating an unlicensed commercial business on HOA property." Ethan laughed. He thought she was joking. Karen wasn't. She issued him a $500 fine on the spot, then told his mom she'd be taking legal action if the stand wasn't removed immediately. Over lemonade. A week later, Ethan's family received a lawsuit notice, not a warning, not a mediation request, a real court summons. Karen, the HOA president, was suing a teenager for running a lemonade stand, and she made sure the whole neighborhood knew. She even posted it in the HOA group chat with the caption, open quote, "This is what happens when rules are ignored." Close quote. Karen thought she was making an example. She had no idea she had just triggered the worst mistake of her life. Karen expected the lawsuit to scare everyone. And at first, it did. Parents whispered. Neighbors avoided eye contact. Ethan's mom was shaking, not because they were guilty, but because they didn't have money for lawyers. Karen, meanwhile, was enjoying herself. She started patrolling the street more often, slow drive-bys, stopping to inspect lawns, taking photos of Ethan's house like it was under federal investigation. Then Ethan's older cousin did something Karen didn't expect. He posted the story on TikTok, just a simple video. HOA president sues 15-year-old for lemonade stand. No exaggeration, no edits, just the lawsuit document, and Ethan standing there holding the same little lemonade sign. The video hit 1 million views in 24 hours. By day 3, it was everywhere. Twitter, Reddit, Facebook mom groups, even local news picked it up. Karen went from HOA president to the most hated woman in the city. People started calling the HOA office nonstop. Strangers mailed Ethan money for legal fees. Someone even printed shirts that said, open quote, "Free Ethan, down with Karen." Close quote. Karen lost it. She posted a furious rant in the HOA group chat calling everyone ungrateful, low class, and rule-breaking freeloaders. That screenshot leaked too. Now the internet wasn't just laughing at her, they were investigating her. And that's when someone noticed something small, buried deep in the HOA financial records. Karen had been charging legal fees to the HOA fund for her personal lawsuit against a child. And that little detail was about to destroy her entire life. Quick pause. If you're enjoying this story, like, share, and subscribe, and tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Once people realized Karen was using HOA money to fund her personal lawsuit, the tone changed. This wasn't just petty anymore. This was illegal. A retired accountant in the neighborhood downloaded the HOA financial reports and posted a breakdown online, line by line, highlighted with screenshots, legal consulting fees, private investigator charges, court filing costs, all paid by homeowners' monthly dues. For one purpose, to sue a 15-year-old over lemonade. Karen tried to shut it down. She deleted posts, locked the HOA group chat, sent out an email saying the records were confidential. That only made things worse, because now the same people she had bullied for years started talking. One neighbor revealed Karen had fined him $3,000 for building a wheelchair ramp for his father. Another said she'd threatened foreclosure over unpaid holiday decoration violations. Someone else leaked audio of Karen saying, open quote, "If people can't afford the HOA, they shouldn't live here." Close quote. The internet compiled everything into one thread called the Karen HOA Files. It went viral overnight. Local reporters knocked on Karen's door. County officials requested HOA audits. A real law firm, not TikTok, offered to represent Ethan's family for free. And suddenly the lawsuit flipped. Karen wasn't the plaintiff anymore. She was the target. A class action complaint was filed by 12 homeowners accusing her of financial misuse, abuse of authority, harassment, fraud. Karen showed up to the emergency HOA meeting in sunglasses, silent for the first time in her life. She thought it was damage control. She didn't realize it was her last meeting as president. The emergency HOA meeting was packed, not just homeowners, but lawyers, reporters, and two officials from the county housing board. Karen sat at the front like she always did, perfect posture, sunglasses on, trying to look untouchable. Then the audit report was projected onto the screen and everything collapsed. Over $48,000 in HO funds had been misused, not for community repairs, not for security, not for landscaping, but for Karen's personal legal campaigns, including the Lemonade lawsuit. The county official didn't even sugarcoat it. Open quote, "This constitutes financial misconduct and abuse of fiduciary duty." Close quote. Karen was immediately removed as HOA president. Her access to the accounts was frozen on the spot. But that was just the beginning. The class action lawsuit moved forward. The HOA's insurance refused to cover her actions, which meant Karen was now personally liable. She had to sell her SUV, then her jewelry, then her house. The same neighborhood she once terrorized bought her property at auction. And the final twist? Ethan, the kid she sued. He used the donation money to start a real small business, a local beverage brand. His first product, Karen's Lemonade, with the slogan, open quote, "sweet, not bitter," close quote. It sold out in 2 days. Karen now rents a small apartment across town. No HOA, no authority, no power. Just a woman who tried to destroy a kid over $1 and lost everything instead. If this story shocked you, like, share, and subscribe, and tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Because this wasn't just about Lemonade. It was about what happens when the wrong person gets power and finally meets the internet.